No, you know what's
Like
funny
from a
though?
creative
Like
standpoint.
when we did Rainbow, when we did How Much, the song that's Usher and Mariah.
Yeah.
Um, we I didn't meet us. You know, I didn't meet Usher at that session. I didn't know Usher during that period.
Mm.
We did that song in '98, right? So I think the song came out in '99. So Mariah came to the house, Jermaine's house. It's my first time meeting her, and we write the song. Mariah, me, and Jermaine write the song.
Right.
And then, you know, of course, Jermaine comes up with the idea, we should make this a duet. Let's put Usher on here. Because if you notice, Usher's just kind of like ad-libbing throughout
Yeah.
the song. You know what I mean? He has a few lines back and forth, but it's mostly him just kind of just saucing it up. You know what I'm saying? So I was excited that I had a song with Mariah and Usher. I thought the song was going to, you know,
Right.
I was super excited about that, right? So
Yeah.
then when Jermaine moves into the South Side, when they move into the new studio,
Yeah.
the very first session we have is Usher. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So this is the second time I was starstruck, because Usher was one of my favorite, probably my favorite artists. You know what I'm saying? Like to keep it 100, Usher's probably my favorite artist. You know what I'm saying? Are we still there?
Yeah, we still
Yeah,
there.
okay.
Yeah,
To keep it 100, Usher's my favorite artist. You know what I'm saying? Like his tone, his everything about what he stands for as an artist, and me as a songwriter and as a producer. He's a person that it was just like, I want to work with him. You know what I mean? Like you know, you have a wish list, right? You know what I'm saying? And for me, Usher was like #1. Like, I want to work
yeah.
with this guy. You know what I'm saying? And so the first day, we end up having, you know, I learned a valuable lesson. And I think I tell this story a lot. I think you might even know
Yeah.
this story.
Yeah.
I learned a valuable lesson the first day, the first session that I had with Usher and Jermaine. You know, I learned that the song is in the conversation. I learned that in order to be an effective producer, you have to find out what is affecting the artist. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like, what do they want to talk about? What are they going through? You know what I mean? And I didn't understand what we were doing when he first got there. I didn't understand why we were talking for 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? I just, okay, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to get started, you know?
Yeah.
And we talked for like 4 hours. Really, we talked for a minute.
Mm.
And through that conversation, a lot of the songs we wrote for 8701 came up from those conversations, like TTP and U-Turn, and If I Want To. A lot of them songs came from these conversations that we would have every time we'd go to the studio. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And You Got It Bad was the first song that we did the first day that we had a session with Usher in the brand new studio. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I learned a lesson as a songwriter, that the song is in the conversation. The lesson I learned as a producer was connecting with an artist properly, talking to an artist, get to know an artist, and sonically, less is more. All right, because
Mm-hmm.
I've been signed to Noontime. Noontime is an offshoot of, like, you know, of, I would say, like Bad Boy Hitman, right? You know,
Right.
we were, if you had to compare crews, you know what I mean? We were like a junior, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of what I did as a producer at Noontime was orchestration and big ass intros and strings and all, putting everything but the kitchen sink in a track, right?
Yeah.
And when we were coming up with the track for I'm sorry, for You Got It Bad, I did the 16 bar loop, and I had all kinds of shit in it, strings and lead lines and wind and all kinds of shit in the track, right?
Right.
Guitars, all kinds of stuff. And I remember I went to go get JLo, JD, man, come listen to these 16 bars. You know what I mean? So he comes and he press play, and he goes and he mutes every sound that I put in
Wow.
there. He just starts muting all the sounds and shit. And the sounds that he kept in there was the 9-line guitar, the wind, and I think like a little lead line thing that I did, right? And then he said, okay, we're going to start here. And then he put a kick, a snare, a hi-hat, and a shaker in it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, so wait a minute. This entire track is only going to have 8 tracks on it, or 7 or 8 tracks. This is what's going in my mind. I had cymbal swells. Like, if we got this big ass SSL, boy, we need to use 30 of these tracks. In my mind, you know what I mean?
Right.
Let's use all these tracks. He looked at me like, man, you're crazy. Like, you know what I mean? And then if you notice, and you got it bad, there's no harmonies in the hook. There's only harmonies at the like second verse part when it's like, I really adore you, when he makes those references to those other 2 songs. But there's no harmony in the song. It's just him singing lead. There might be a stack on the hook, you know what I'm saying? And I remember sitting in the studio saying to myself, he's not gonna put no harmonies on this hook, you know? Or we're not gonna do, this is it, you know what I mean? But when it was done, I was just like, oh, this shit is fire. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I learned a value, like I learned such a big lesson, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I've carried those 2 lessons, those 3 lessons with me throughout my whole career.
Right. And then that guitar solo at the end, whose idea was that? Because that worked. I don't know why or how, but it worked.
JD.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is they didn't like the guitar solo. They fought for the guitar. Fought because they were going to take it out.